going to see the development of the democracy and the capitalist system in Latin America during the 19th century. Let's begin! Democracy is a type of government where the people choose their representatives via voting and according with their own necessities. Democracy is divided in two main types, direct and representative. A direct democracy is the one in where every citizen has a vote in any important decision. This turns out difficult when it's a big population. The representative is where other people are elected by the citizens to run the government. Most countries in the world nowadays are run this way. Democracy could be better defined as the government for the people, by the people.
Capitalism is an economic system where things are owned by the people instead of by the government.
In this system, people have to work for money and the government doesn't interfere. It's run by the ideology of free market under the motto of hands off, let them do by Adam Smith.
It was first introduced between the 16th and 19th century in Europe, as well as other theories that impulsed the events such as the Industrial Revolution. Now we are going to explain three important events of capitalism and democracy in Latin America.
First of all, we're going to explain how all started. The Constitution of the United States of America, adopted in 1788, provides the world's first formal blueprint of a modern democracy. George Washington is elected president in 1789 and again for a second term in 1792.
Listed by the province to expand the ideal of freedom and democracy for the world. Its history was complemented further on with the Monroe Doctrine in 1821, which slogan "America for the Americans" was the excuse to impose its will on the states of Latin America, situation similar to Africa in the 19th century.
Bolivar was always solidly Republican, as he was convinced that the monarchy was an anachronistic form of government that did not make sense with the realities and spirits of American emancipation. In all of its constitutional projects, it raises the sense of democracy, republican popular governments, responsible and representative, in which the intervention of majorities and respect for public opinion was decisive.
Even if Bolivar showed some capitalist tendencies, he was partidary of another ideology created by himself, Bolivarian socialism. Some people see it as an utopic idea with no real roots, but it's a way of thinking based on nationalism and socialism. seeking human equality and social equilibrium. It's a doctrine with a high human content.
However, it didn't succeed, and the result was the dissolution of the Gran Colombia. Gran Colombia split up in 1831, and it separated in a lot of countries, such as Colombia, Ecuador, Venezuela, Peru, Panama, and Bolivia.
The first president were in Colombia, Juan Vicente Concha in 1940. In the Ecuador was Juan José Flores in 1830, and in Venezuela was José Antonio Páez in 1830.
In Panama, the first president was Demetrio H. Breed in 1903. In Peru, the first president was José de la Riva Agüero in 1821. And in Bolivia, the first president was José de Sucre y Alcala in 1824.
Bolivar, in his constitutional project, was democratic, republican, popular, effective, simple, morally strong, capable of overcoming anarchy and tyranny, and of realizing and defending the revolution.
In the whole Latin America, there was the fight between conservatives who wanted a monarchy system and liberals that wanted a voting system like in the United States. Conservatives and liberals disagreed over education, work system of government, the influence of the church, the army.
Were declared enemies of political changes, and socially they defended traditional family values, the church, and nationalism. Economically, they seeked protectionist policies against the liberalism. They fought for law and order and the authority principle. Liberals proclaimed individual freedom during the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. They based their beliefs in liberties and individual rights of thinking, conscience, and association. They established juridical equality as well as power division and the protection of the Constitution.
But that was when I ruled the world.
Diaz came to power in 1876 after more than 30 years of civil war and foreign invasion in Mexico, characterized much of the country's 19th century history. This led Mexico on the path of modern capitalist development. Foreign investment also soared, primarily railroads, mining, and banking. Increasing from 110 million pesos in 1884 with the United States as largest foreign investor, the country was increasingly and rapidly integrated into the North Atlantic capitalist world.
The result of this period of enormous economic expansion was a significant role in Mexico's rural and urban middle class. People such as these survived and advanced by means of their education, skills, and commerce, but the Porfirian system effectively shut them out. It prevents middle class people to crowd in commercial activity in the face of the very rich.
Winter wouldn't leave it alone.
In conclusion of democracy, since the beginning, a lot of Latin American countries have taken democracy as their way of government. You can see it like Mexico, Chile, and Venezuela.
When Gran Colombia dissolved, all the countries that were part of it adopted democracy as a way of government. Also, the vote became universal, except for a few social groups that were excluded from voting.
In capitalism, Latin America was always looked for a product of raw materials. A lot of foreigners looked to invest in LA. That was the result of the privatization.
But Latin American countries, they were trying to take capitalism as foreign powers, but the result wasn't as good as expected because European countries were taking advantage and abusing of Latin America. This was similar to the situation in Africa in the same years.
Is a friend made enemy, and every shipwrecked soul knows what it is to live without